Welcome back to Afternoon Live. Whether you're looking to enhance certain features or add balance to your appearance, the eyebrows can dramatically change the way you look. Here to share how to use your bone structure to get the perfect brows, we welcome back makeup artist and beauty professional Ashonti Turner. And you brought your lovely mother with you today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, so brows can be super intimidating, especially for people that are kind of newer to makeup and trying to figure out what works best for them. I brought in my mom because she's a great example as somebody who necessarily doesn't have the thickest brows, and her features are quite feminine and small. So I'm going to show you kind of how to fill in the brow. We have an example on this side that we did in about 30 seconds, other side.
Yes,
there we
gorgeous.
Go. Super easy, and I want to show you how to do it with your bone structure. So first we're going to take a tiny angled brow pencil, and you want it to be very skinny so you can get really precise lines. And then when you're picking out a brow shade, you want to do something that's similar to the root of your hair, but with a little bit more kind of gray, taupey, neutral colors. So if you have red hair, same thing, gray tones, blonde, same thing, but gray tones.
Is there anything at all universal that pretty much you can't go wrong with if you pick up, or you really should be matching?
You really should try to stay more in the neutral. You don't want to go too warm because things can appear orange against the skin or too yellow. So you want to keep it more in the gray family. So how we're going to measure this out here is that we're going to actually use the nose, and this could be done with anybody. So we want to take this part of the nose here to measure out the front of the brow, this part of the nose here to measure out where you want your angle of your brow to be, and then the end of your brow is going to measure out where you want your brow to end.
Okay, so the 3 key points where it starts, and if it is too far over, like you measure it with your makeup brush and it's too far over, are you supposed to pluck those?
You're not supposed to necessarily pluck them because you don't want to commit too much. This is just about applying makeup, but this is also what I use when I wax my clients' brows too. So when I'm going in like doing hair removal, that's the same structure that I use.
Okay, so this is when you're doing your own brows with makeup.
Exactly. So first we're going to measure out the end of the brow because there's a lot of product on this brush here. So we're going to do, I'm going to turn your head a little bit, Mom. We're going to do a little dot here. Then the next part is going to be the arch of the brow. This is going to be the highest part of your brow.
And you're just dotting that on.
Just dotting.
Even though there might not be hair up there.
Exactly. This is just a little bit of a template here. And then we're going to end the brow right here. So we're doing a tiny dot there.
Wow.
So those are going to be the 3 key points that we're going to be using.
So you're really creating the illusion of something else, which is gorgeous.
We're using our own bone structure because everyone's noses are different, right?
Yes.
And the nose is really the center of the face, so we want to measure it with that. We're going to start out with filling in the end of the brow first. So we're kind of like connecting the dots here a little bit.
So when in doubt, are you better off to go a little darker or a little lighter?
You want to go a little bit darker than your brows. I just know that my mom likes a darker brow, so we're going dark, but also I want you guys people to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So we now have created the arch of the brow. Now we're going to connect the bottom half of this to that front point of the brow. So we kind of see where the structure is kind of going now.
Absolutely,
So we see the brow angles, right? Now we're going to blend, okay? This is the intimidating part. We're going to grab a little bit more color here, and we're just going to fill in inside of the brow hairs, connecting these lines. It's scary, it's intimidating, but the thing is you want to do this with a powder as well, because if you go in with like a pencil, with the cream, it can kind of be intimidating and scary.
I was just going to ask you that. I see that you are using a powder.
Yes.
Usually in a store you see so many pencils.
Yes.
Is that a little too much?
Not a little too much, but it can be, I know that it can be intimidating. Like when I'm doing these classes as well, I know that pencils and like those like little marker pens can kind of be a little intimidating.
Yeah, a little bit like putting tattoos on your eyebrows.
Exactly, because it's too much of a commitment. And then once we're coming towards the front of the brow, we're gonna actually use a little bit lighter stroke. So I'm still kind of placing the color, getting the arch where I want it to be, blending, cleaning up. And then when we get to this part of the brow, which is the front, this is actually right where your pupil of your eye is gonna be. Once we get to the pupil, we're gonna start to use a lighter hand. We're not grabbing any more product, and we're just gonna blend. Blend. And you kinda wanna blend kind of like an arch.
Okay. Oh, you make it look so simple. I love it.
It can be. And like I'm using super soft hands. Like this doesn't have to be any rhyme or reason because we're just gonna go back and clean it up. So that little mark that we made at the beginning, we're gonna clean that up and fade it so it kind of disappears a little bit. So now the brow is there, okay? The brow structure is there. Kind of clean up that line a little bit. Now we're gonna go for the cleanup, okay? This is where the shape is actually gonna come into play. So I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer. This is my mom's shade. And then we're gonna take a little flat brush here. This is like a soft flat rounded brush. We're gonna start on the edge of the brow where we want it to be, and we're just gonna clean up some lines. So
I
starting.
really feel like I'm getting the beauty secrets
Yeah,
today. I'm
yeah.
loving this, yeah.
And it's super quick, like I'm over explaining it, but this could be super easy. So you see here, we just created the angle of the brow.
Yes.
So we cleaned it up. That's what I was saying, the first time around it doesn't have to be super, super clean or easy. And then again, once we reach this middle part of the brow, no more product, we're gonna blend forward. Blend, 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 blend forward.
Oh, well, that is just gorgeous.
Thank
and
you.
and inspiring.
Yes,
5
yeah,
minutes,
yeah.
5 minutes, and she looks like this.
Yeah, once you get used to it, really 2 minutes, and then you can blend this out with your finger. I'm just gonna use a brush just to not get my fingers with any product on it.
Oh, well, thank you, ladies, so much.
course.
This is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Great. We'll have these tips and more about Ashonti on our website at KETU.com, and we'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.